When Jaguar Wright began speaking about the new Diddy documentary, she made it clear from the start that almost nothing in it was new to her. She's been close to the story for years, observing everything quietly from the background, and for the most part, she already knew what would be revealed and what would be left out. However, there was one moment that truly grabbed her attention, and honestly, it surprised a lot of people who watched the documentary. For the first time ever, Kirk Burrows openly stated that he had been abused by Diddy.
That Kirk Burrows was saying at the end of episode 4 when he first, dropped the bomb, that he had been essayed by Diddy. It's Kirk Burrows.
Yeah.
Who has been there since the beginning.
That time, I didn't think nothing of it, that he was spending the night with Kirk Burrows either every Wednesday night. He got a whole girl at home, but he's spending the night with Kirk Burrows. He's staying at Kirk's house. Like, yo, all right, cool. Didn't think nothing of it. And then Kirk had made a mention to some people over the years that him and Puff used to wake up and pray together. And I'm in my mind, I know he's talking about saying prayers and all that shit like that. But in my other mind, I'm thinking you waking up with a dude praying? Shit is going on. Then there was a situation that somebody said long time ago in the office. They caught Kirk giving Puff in the office.
And interestingly, even Gene Deal, who has witnessed Diddy at his absolute worst when it comes to serious allegations, was left shocked and completely speechless after learning what Diddy had done to Kirk.
He's telling the world now. He's telling the world now he's forced to do this.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out why he didn't come out sooner. He also alleging that Diddy, forced him to give him jobs.
Oh my God. So you telling me that in the lawsuit, and I seen it, man, that he forced him to sing in the mic. And it wasn't in the studio.
Yeah, that's what he claiming.
Yo, bro, it's crazy. It's real crazy that Kirk is alleging all these things that people always said back then. I remember when me and you had a conversation about this years ago, and you asked me, was I going to talk about it? I said, no, I'm not going to talk about it because I'm going to let him talk about it. I didn't know he was going to do this lawsuit and put this shit in there. But I told you years ago that I'm not going to talk about it until he talks about it.
Now, the reason why Kirk's revelations may be the most significant so far is because he witnessed things happening behind the scenes more than 30 years ago. He was close to Diddy during the most defining years of his life, and he understands him completely. So, from Jaguar's perspective, Kirk is simply confirming what people have been quietly discussing behind closed doors all this time.
He said people keep pretending like all of the stuff that they hear about Diddy is something that's new. He's been doing these things. He's a witness to offenses that happened over 30 years ago.
Jaguar also highlighted several interesting details that were not fully included in the documentary, especially when it came to Diddy's childhood and early upbringing. She believes that he told many lies in the beginning to maintain a carefully crafted image, keeping his public persona looking completely clean.
In the documentary, interesting. They said he didn't smoke and he didn't drink, but throughout all the Biggie's promo, every time you saw him, he had a bottle of champagne. They was drinking Moet all the time. So I guess they don't consider cases of champagne and everybody having their own bottle and drinking out of their own bottle like it was a 40 ounce. I guess they don't consider that drinking, but I digress.
There was a part where he was going back and forth with Andre Harrell and he was saying, I'm going to be drunk and high by Wednesday. I don't know.
Exactly.
So I'm like, it seemed like the shift happened quickly when it comes to being introduced into this thing, into this industry. So he's technically he might be a victim.
Jaguar also went on to explain that she had always felt Diddy might have been a victim at some stage in his life, possibly even during his childhood, especially considering the extremely troubled and neglectful lifestyle of his parents.
I believe that he was victimized, and I think it happened long before the industry. People really don't want to look closer into his childhood and to what his mama had going on in that house. God knows what he saw and what happened to him in his own mama house. All of those strangers, them up involved, looking around, seeing what was going on. And let's just be clear, it sounds like her house was a house of, professional freak-offs. So who knows what he saw or what could have happened to him while she was busy entertaining people and pouring and getting tips, as she would say, for her after-hour life.
Oh yeah. He was. I'm gonna say he was surprised to hear that.
School bus driver. No, was he surprised or was he like, zip it, you talking too much? Because that's what it looked like to me. It looked like you talking a little bit too much. They don't need to know about that. While she was sitting up there, because I was a bus driver and I was this, and I worked at the after hours. And I would pour them drinks and they would give me big tips.
She didn't say it just like that. Big tips. In
Big tip and spending cheese.
In Sean's own words, in Diddy's own words, he had said he had a sigh of relief learning that he was the son of a hustler or a gangster. Like he wanted that status. He wanted to say that he was a sigh of relief is a wild thing to say, that your daddy was a gangster or a hustler. That's what you heard that he was.
Well, I mean, like Tim said, they had a bunch of blaxploitation movies being played around the house all the time. They grew up with the Mac playing. They grew up with Superfly playing. Like, I mean, if that's what you got going on, you got two women in the house and there's no men around, and these are what the little boys are watching. You got basketball players coming over late at night. You got hustlers coming over, PIMPs coming over, women who look like they were modeling for Jet Magazine coming over. Like, it sounds like the nature of the environment is what shaped their perception of what cool was. So yeah, I mean, I'm sure for him it was, oh man, that's who my dad was.
Diddy's father, the same man he once admired, turned out to be involved in hustling, later became an informant, and met a violent end. Jaguar explained that this kind of family background, combined with the environment, the influence of media, and the pressure to gain power, played a major role in shaping who Diddy eventually became. Over time, he began to see himself as untouchable, and that mindset is clearly reflected in the behavior Jaguar points out. She particularly emphasizes that the documentary reveals something significant that many people completely overlooked. Diddy appeared to be trying to influence the thinking of potential jurors long before any arrest took place. It begins with one of the strangest parts of the entire documentary. Diddy was recording everything. From the moment federal agents arrived near his hotel room, he was not afraid. He was not hiding. Instead, he was actively filming them in return.
The fact that, that they have this footage and however they got it, the fact that it exists is like, Diddy, why would you even start recording this? Like, why would you even give us this leverage to even put this thing out? Please, give us some tips. Well, I wouldn't call it leverage, but go ahead.
Well, the whole point of him filming this whole thing was because I'm sure that he planned on doing his own documentary. This is an extreme narcissist you're talking about. Extreme. He's sitting there with feds, an eye shot away from his hotel suite, filming his hotel room, and he's looking at them and he's filming them right back. He's literally saying in certain parts, yeah. Make sure you're filming all of this because we need to get some, some cutaway shots.
That's wild. That's wild.
No, he was literally, did nobody pay attention to that?
Oh, I saw.
Like he said, yeah. Make sure you're filming all of this. We need this for cutaways. Like you're sitting here collecting footage, like a director, like an AD.
Jaguar says this was not a random decision at all. In her view, it reflected classic Diddy behavior, an extreme narcissist who believed he could control the entire narrative. She thinks he was planning to create his own documentary about the situation, positioning himself as the hero of his own story. However, what surprised her the most was not the fact that Diddy was filming. It was what he and his lawyer said while the cameras were recording.
But when you've got a lawyer like Mark Agnafilo, who is orchestrating your possible surrender, because as you heard him say in the beginning of the documentary, he was very clear. It's almost the middle of September and there's no indictment. As you heard Diddy say, I've been an exemplary client like you've asked. You said I've been an excellent client. I came here. I did everything you asked me to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're literally having this conversation.
In that conversation, Diddy was worried about the outlook of the public versus the victim.
The outlook of the public? Oh, he was worried a lot more than that.
Mm-hmm.
You don't think? He literally sat there and said, we need comms. He's sitting there talking like an evil dictator. We need comms. We need a way into this conversation. We're losing, he said. We're losing. Losing what?
Come on.
What are you losing? But the key words that he said that were so important were, we need to be able to be speaking to the potential juror.
So, essentially, Diddy was trying to control the narrative before anything had officially taken place. Jaguar highlights how dangerous that can be. When someone with that level of money and influence attempts to shape public opinion before a trial even begins, it raises serious questions about how ordinary people can ever expect to receive fair justice.